Welcome back to Scoop's Latest, where in every episode we talk about different topics involving the guest that comes on each episode. I'm your host, Kate Ryan, and today I'm here with.
I'm Meigs Roberts.
And today we'll be talking about motivation and goals and what helps drive those goals.
Let's do it.
We are pretty motivated people, so
Yeah.
I feel like we have a right to speak on this topic, right?
Yeah. I hope. I hope
I
so.
hope so. So my first question is, what do you think drives motivation?
Mm. I think it's a hunger for being better than the other people, right? Something that I've been told all my life, right, is that there's always going to be someone who's working harder than you. When you're sleeping, someone else is doing something, right? And so I think the motivation that comes from this idea of someone is going to be better than you is so strong because you're so hungry to be better, to have that drive, to want to do more, but also to be recognized for doing something that's great,
Hmm.
not just good.
It's all about the passion, too.
Yeah,
If you love something, you're so driven to
right,
go after it.
right,
And if you're not, then, I mean, that's okay. You can not do things half ass, but, you can have a hobby that you're
sure.
kind of like, oh, I do it a little bit, but it's just like on the side?
Yeah, yeah,
But it just depends
and
on the person.
and I think it's important to understand that not everyone can find their passion right off the bat, right? So it takes a little while, some trial and error to find that passion. For me, like my passion is talking to people,
Hmm.
right? And so I'm in hospitality. Like I want to be able to meet people wherever I go. I don't want to meet a stranger.
Hmm.
And I think the motivation behind that, for me at least, is I want to be able to walk into a room and not have to introduce myself.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you just want them to.
I want people to know who I am
Mhm.
before I know them. And that is what drives me. That's what motivates me to be the best I can
Mhm.
and to be better than other people.
Yeah, and to just be the best version of yourself, too. Because,
Yeah.
for the most part, unless it comes to, I mean, there are some celebrities who do get famous, and unfortunately, they're assholes.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But not that you're an asshole, you're a good
Right.
person. But it just depends on the person, and
Yeah.
those people that just are known for being a good person,
Hmm.
and that's what I strive for.
Yeah.
Is I want to be the person that is trying these new things and maybe failing every once in a while,
Mm.
because everybody fails.
Yeah.
It's a part of growing, it's part of the learning experience.
Sure.
But just, I want to be the person that is like, that person is trying all these things and is always striving to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah. And I think that's something else that's important. Like, don't get caught up in all the glitz and glamour of popularity, right? Because when you do succeed, people are going to want to be around you, right? And when you are successful, you're going to be surrounded by people both who you want to be around and who you do not want to be around.
Hmm.
And it's understanding and being able to tell the difference in whether the people are there just because you're well known or you're good at something, or if they're there because they want to help you and see you succeed.
Hmm. Because there's those people that are, yeah, because they're so happy
Yeah.
that you're successful.
Yeah.
And then there's those people that envy it.
Mm.
And when someone envies something or they're jealous of something, they outlash.
Yeah.
That's why you see all this like crap being talked on social media.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just the way humans are. It's out of insecurity. And
Sure.
that's why, shit talking happens.
Yeah. And I think it's important to realize too that when you're in a situation of that matter, right? That people, you have two types of people. You have one type who, like you said, wants to almost lash out and hurt you. And then you have another group of people who are there to help you succeed. That it's important to realize that when you do find your group of people, that people can change. Um, And that's something that I've learned really quick, is that people who you may think are the closest to you, um, sometimes they don't like to see you succeed. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
they want to be in your shoes. And
Mm.
because they can't, for whatever reason, whether they're not trying, whether they don't have the outlet to be in your shoes, or whether it's just not an option for them, right? Whether whatever field they want to go into, right, doesn't allow them um, to be in a position of your manner, right? They will turn on you quick.
Mhm.
Um, but I love that.
Yeah.
I don't love the fact that people turn on you, right? But I love the fact that when people do say, "Hey, you can't do that," that drives me to be more motivated to
Mhm.
be better.
No, for sure. Especially what drives, I think, too, something that I personally love
Mm,
is when someone, not that I love when someone is getting angry or jealous, because I'm also like, I want that person to be able to fix their
mhm.
insecurities. You never know what's happening in
Sure,
someone's life.
sure.
But that drives me to be, let me take the upper hand in this situation.
Right,
Let me not let this get to me that this person is doing that.
right,
And I don't want to backlash at them, because who knows what's going on in their life and
right.
why they're doing the things that they do.
Exactly. You can't. Something also to keep in mind is that hurt people, right? And you can't necessarily see what's going on, right?
Mm.
Because for whatever reason they may not want to talk about it, right? But when they see people doing great things that they know that they could do, but because of their circumstances currently that they can't, that's when they lash out.
Hmm. Yeah, no, definitely, for sure. What do you do when it comes to setting and achieving goals? When you wake up in the morning, do
Mm,
you write down a list, or
mm.
how does that work for you?
So for me, faith is always a big part of my life. Always has been, always will be. Um, I give all the credit of my success in at any time, what big
Hmm.
or small, to Christ. Like
Hmm.
for me, waking up in the morning is already a victory,
Hmm.
right? Because now I have a whole nother 24 hours to change my life and to change the trajectory, that my path is going, right? And so I think that something really important for me when I get up in the mornings to realize is that today could be my last day, right? We don't know when our time is, right, to
Hmm.
leave this earth. And so I try to live the best I can to the best of my ability. I try to live every day like it's my last.
Hmm.
Whether that's just being a smile that someone doesn't see, right? Um, or just enjoying time for myself, right?
Hmm.
And I think that success comes in several different forms, right? It can come in monetary, it can come in physical form, it can also come in just a mental form, right? Just
Hmm.
having a good day.
Yeah.
Like
You
like
wake up in the morning
right.
sometimes and you're like, damn, that was an amazing day,
Right. Right.
right?
Or you go to bed and you're like, "Man, like everything happened the way I hoped it would."
Hmm.
Right? And those are the best
Hmm.
parts. Those are the best things. Is that when I can confidently say that I have done to the best of my ability what I can do, whether that's making my day better or someone else's, like that motivates me,
Hmm.
right? And being able to see that, you're not going to necessarily see a difference every single day, right? And success and motivation come along with that. Motivation grows, your hunger grows, especially when you can't see that because you want to see it. And so you strive harder and you drive harder each and every day to change whatever you're doing so that you can see that.
Hmm.
But sometimes it's about consistency.
Oh, definitely. Because there's also those things that you go after, and nothing comes right away.
Right.
Nothing ever comes right away. Whether it's like Even when it comes to romantic love,
Right.
you might love that person, but you sure as hell have to get up every day and work at it and
Right.
make sure to
Yeah.
work on yourself and try to understand your partner. But even when
Exactly.
it comes to other goals, when it comes to a hobby or a sport, you're not just going to pick it up right away.
Mm,
For me, I mean, I've recently been into boxing and jujitsu, into the
okay.
mixed martial arts.
Okay. I see you.
And I'm terrible. Whenever I go to class, I'm getting my ass kicked. And I'm like, "Damn." But, it strives me to get up every day because I just wanna be able to, God forbid, defend myself in a
Sure.
situation, but it's also just something that I enjoy. It connects me to my inner childhood because as a child, everyone wanted to be Superman.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real.
Right. Right. We all did.
You wanted to be a superhero at some point in your life. I
Yeah.
still do. I'm
Yeah.
like, if like freaking Doctor Strange came up to me and was like, "You get to be Spider-Man," I'd be like, "I'm gonna be Spider-Woman and I'm gonna kick the ass."
Right.
But not to get sidetracked. However, that happens a lot with me. I'll be like, "This is what we're gonna talk about," and then we end up in nowhere
You're
lands.
good.
But
That's
that's just
awesome.
how these episodes
It's
go.
great. Love it. I love it.
um, so you're talking a little bit about your mindset and your motivation,
Mm.
but what else kind of drives you besides just your faith? Is there something specific that does that for you?
Yeah. I think being able to make a difference is a big part and a big factor in what drives me to be great. My goals for life are not that necessarily that I can get all the light shown on me, right? And that's a lot of people's goals, right? They want to be in the spotlight. They want to be big. They want to, ooh, look at me, rich and famous, right? Get a star
Mhm,
on Hollywood Boulevard. For me, that's not the case. I don't want. I don't need to be recognized for what I do, right? Sure, it's great. Don't get me wrong, right? Y- People deserve recognition for doing what they
mhm,
do, but that shouldn't be the main goal,
mhm,
right? Um, and for me, so I want to be a cruise director.
mhm,
I want to be able to travel, meet people. I want to be able to see the world outside of what I've already seen. I want to experience different cultures. For me, success takes on a different role with that goal because success for me isn't necessarily making money, right? That's great,
mhm.
right? I would love to live a comfortable life.
No, definitely.
But sometimes, in order to live a comfortable life, you have to be in uncomfortable situations. And for what I want to do, like my success is really just my happiness.
Mhm,
And so I think being happy is a big factor in w- is a big factor in what drives me and motivates me to be great. Like if I'm unhappy, right, then that's in one way or another that's going to push off onto someone else, right? They're going to be able to tell that I'm unhappy, right? And you've heard the saying smiles are contagious, right? And so being able to just be a smile that someone sees, and being the person that someone can look at and say, "Wow, they're having a good day. What's keeping me from having that?"
mhm,
Um, then hopefully that they can change their day, their thoughts, whatever that's looking like. Um, and so yeah, I think happiness is a big driving
mhm.
factor for that.
Okay. Yeah, I know for me, it's more just finding my purpose.
Yeah,
Everyone has a purpose in life. And for me, filming these episodes have been kind of just a way for me to get out how I'm feeling.
yeah,
And it's like when you journal.
sure.
You're just out speaking your mind,
Love
that's
it.
just
Yeah.
my favorite part about this. And I think that's what drives my life is finding my purpose, and your purpose can change from day to day.
Yeah.
even if it's getting up one day and you're striving to
Yeah.
even get up out of bed because you're struggling. But hell, you got up out of bed and you did it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, period, pop off.
That's a success right there.
You're like, you got up, you did it. Sometimes it can
Yeah.
be really hard.
Yeah.
And, we're human.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It is. It's awesome. But that's there's just so many different aspects and parts of life that I personally just want to continue to feel grateful for.
Mm.
It's just everything, even those bad parts as well.
Yeah.
I mean, in the moment, I'm like, damn it, why am I having this terrible day? And I'm like, oh, and I'm angry and I'm upset, right?
Mm.
And then I wake up
Sure.
the next
Yeah.
day and I'm like sitting there and I'm like, okay, at least I made it through.
Mm.
And I should be grateful because now I can have a really good day
Right.
and I can, pull myself together.
Right.
But,
Yeah. I mean, between the goals and motivation, there's life.
mhm,
And we've got to make that enjoyable, right? Because if it's not enjoyable, we're not going to be motivated and we're not going to reach our goals.
yeah. And that's the thing, too. It's also, I feel as though when it is, though you're having those bad days, is even being able to recognize that everyone has them
Mm.
and then being able to adapt and change your mindset.
Mm.
Because my favorite quote, it goes like this. It starts with, "It's a bad 5 minutes. It's not a bad life."
Mm.
No matter how
Mm.
long
That's good.
that you're there and
That's
you're sitting
good.
there, even if it's 30 minutes or a full day,
Yeah.
you should try to figure out what's bothering you and just feel it.
But I'm also thankful for the bad times,
Mhm.
right? Because then here's the way here's here's the way.
No, you're good.
Hello? There we go. Okay,
Okay.
that was weird. Here's the way I look at it. If we didn't have bad times, right, we wouldn't be able to appreciate the good ones,
Mhm.
right? So you have to be thankful, right, for trials or whatever is going on. Because if you didn't have bad times, you wouldn't be able to see the good. Same thing for the good. If you didn't have good, you wouldn't be able to see the bad. And so they kind of coincide. And so you have to think of a way to say thank you, right? Thank you, Lord, for these bad times, right? Because now I can see that once this does pass, right? Once I'm out of this valley, that I can go back to a mountaintop and have a good
Mhm.
experience.
Yeah, if you didn't feel those bad times, it's also one of those situations where if you look at it, you're like, would I be grateful for my happy times if I
Right.
was just happy all the time?
Right.
I don't know if I would. I
Yeah.
think I'd take it for granted because
Yeah.
that's also a part of being human. We take things for granted. When we
So
have
much.
them, we take them for granted.
So much.
I mean, for me, I grew up pretty comfortably because my dad, he has worked his ass off in the field that he has. So I was able to, get 3 meals a day and go on vacations and spend time with my friends and I was able to fully live my childhood
Mm.
to where I am today, where I'm able to go to college. But
Yeah.
not everybody has that. And especially, like, I would wake up sometimes in the morning and I always try to think about it. And I try, whenever I'm having a bad day, I'm trying to sit there and be like, at least I have food on my table. Because that's such a thing that when you have it, you take it for granted because you think it's something that everybody has. But no, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more.
Mm.
I think that so many times we take comfortability for granted. Um, and I think that it's important to realize and understand that just because we have it now doesn't mean we're always going to have it,
Mhm.
right? I could be in any situation in an instant.
Mhm.
And I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Not necessarily from a personal perspective, but I've seen it happen with other people.
Mhm.
Like one day they are they're great, they're living comfortably, and almost overnight,
Snap of a finger.
it's completely different.
Completely
It's
gone.
night and day.
Yeah.
And so I would agree. I try my best not to take things for granted, but we still do.
Yeah, because we're human.
Right.
Yeah.
We're human. We're gonna see things through a different lens than someone else,
Mhm.
right? And it's even the small things, like being in the studio, right, to record. Like, not a lot
Not
of
a lot of
people
people have
have this
access.
opportunity, right?
No, for sure.
But this is something that I personally have taken for granted before, right? I'm like, oh, I don't want to go all the way on campus to a studio. Well, think about the people who don't have a campus to go to,
Mhm.
right? Who don't get the opportunity to go to college in the first place. Um, and so I think that it's important to to realize the blessings that we do have.
No, for sure. And especially before with the comfortability. I mean, anything
Mhm.
could happen at any moment.
Yeah.
I mean, not that this is going to happen, but what if aliens just take over the world?
Right.
You know?
Right. Right.
You just see an alien from the sky.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Right? No,
That'd be
because
cool.
because the reason why I'm thinking like this is because I read a lot of the dystopian books.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then I'm sitting there and I'm like, what if I just got kidnapped by an alien or like abducted, you know?
You know, I think that they would give me back.
I think
I think that they would return me.
that's what I've always said. Because the thing is, I feel as though if I got abducted by an alien, the first thing I would do would
Take a
pop
selfie.
off on the Instagram.
Take a
I would
selfie.
be up there like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I'm abducted.
Yeah.
And they would be like,
Stop.
what?
Stop.
And I feel like, I think all of Gen Z is like that, honestly.
Selfie. First thing,
So-
always. Selfie.
I've seen some crazy TikToks where it'll be the most chaotic situation. And I'm like, why are you filming right now? Like,
Yeah.
that's
Why
just
not?
the first thing.
Why not? Why
We're
not?
like, oh, let me
Keep
show everyone what's
keep it for the
happening.
memories, right?
No, literally. I'm like, oh.
No one will believe me if I don't video this.
No, for sure. But, that's another thing about comfortability. Who knows?
Yeah.
With the way that our society is
Yeah.
changing so fast. This technology, I don't know. What
Uh,
if there's a sea monster or something that just all of a
that would
sudden,
that would be really cool. I don't. There we. Oh.
oh,
Oh.
is it
Hey.
okay? I think it's working. Wait,
Okay.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're good.
Cool. I'm not gonna touch the wire again.
No, you're good.
We're gonna. Um. Sea monsters would be really cool.
Right?
I mean, I want to be on a cruise, so maybe not that cool. But
You're like, don't eat me, please.
yeah. But I think that would be cool. I've never really thought about it.
I think about that so much.
Oh, do you?
Oh my god, literally all the time.
I don't think
And
about that a lot.
I
Should I be worried?
I think my brain is just really chaotic.
Okay.
So it goes in a bunch
Sure.
of different directions,
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
just me. Everybody's different, but
Yeah.
I also just think about like crazy things like that cuz it keeps my life interesting
Yeah.
and it honestly like motivates me. Cuz I'm like what if? I'm like what if one day I get to be Black Widow?
Hey, it can happen.
You know?
It can
Like
happen.
what if? Like
If you
that'd be
want it to
so flipping
happen,
cool,
let it happen.
right?
Yeah.
Like what if? Because look at our technology.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna be in a super suit. I'm telling you guys right
Okay.
now. Wait, shit! I just outed my identity. That's literally number
Well,
one.
looks like we're gonna have to change from a super suit.
No, literally. But yeah, comfortability.
Yeah.
It's something that we take for granted all the time. And
Mhm.
I mean, it's a good thing to be uncomfortable as well because it helps push you to
Yeah.
learn more about yourself because that's all, we're always trying to do as humans. You
Sure.
can never fully, completely understand yourself.
Yeah.
So it's very important. It's very important to do that. But we are coming to the end of our episode today. But
Okay.
I'm so happy to have you here with us.
Well, thank you.
And it was an amazing conversation
It was
that we
great.
had.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope you tune in next episode. My name is Kate Ryan. I'm your host. And today I'm here with Meigs Roberts. And she has a podcast too called The Big Shots. Tell them a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I have a podcast. It's called The Big Shots. So we interview industry professionals who have made an impact in other people's lives. We have our first episode dropping on Sunday at noon, 12 o'clock noon. So make sure you tune into that. We're gonna have Joe Michaels, former director of NBC's Today Show, seven-time Emmy Award winner, and so much more. So it's gonna be a really fun episode. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, tune in, be there, be square.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a trial run, but I think it'll go well.
I think you'll do amazing.
Thank you.
I think you will.
I appreciate
All
it.
right. Well, I hope you follow my Instagram, Scoops Latest, and my YouTube is also Scoops Latest. And
Sweet.
you can catch me on the personal Instagram of Kate J. Ryan with two N's.
Hey.